Time is gone 9:43 as we head towards closure this morning, right here on Salam Media. We're talking about the long walk for Gaza. We're talking about South African activist Itani Rasalanavho and this long walk from Johannesburg to Durban. And we are now talking to him this morning out of Ladysmith. Itani, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome.
Welcome, salam. Thank you very much to you and the listeners.
Yes, wonderful to connect with you. We started off last week. In fact, on Friday, we spoke out of Marlborough, and when you had began your journey, and now that you are firmly on your way with this long walk for Gaza, and this is to raise funds for medical care for the children of Gaza. How has the last week gone for you?
It has been going very well. This week, mainly we've been in Pumalanga and KZN. It's been great, with great receptions. I would not lie, with so much, yes, with so much reception from different areas. Now, like today, we just finished just now, about 5 minutes ago. We just finished a 10-kilometer run into Ladysmith. With the Mnambiti Striders. It is the local athletic group that participates in marathons, half marathons, and such. A very dynamic group, including the former mayor of Mnambiti. Other than that, yesterday we were in Dundee as well as Glencoe. Come, I tell you this. When we started this, we intended on going to 10 towns and cities. Then it became 14 before we started with the walk. But today, as I'm speaking to you, we are going to have covered 17 towns, cities, and a center. We have Glencoe, Colenso. There's a town called Colenso. I have to remember it by means of referring to a medication. It's Colenso. I don't know this place is Glencoe, as well as a center in Durban. It's Rauf Recovery and Upliftment Recourse. It's a center that deals with rehabilitation as well as a reintegration of former of recoveries and stuff. So we're going to all these 17 centers. So it has been a great reception. People have been receiving us very well, and people have been giving. I need to say that people have been assisting us. We are very humbled by those that have been assisting us and giving according to what we have been asking. So yeah, it has been great, especially with the school visits. We have been visiting schools in almost every town, and as such, we'll be speaking to young people who we have been speaking to young people whom are the future, and they relate to these kids that are in Gaza. Just 2 days back, we got a clip through Al Jazeera of a young kid in Gaza who was killed while calling the Red Cross. She called the Red Cross. They unfortunately recorded the conversation. She was shot during this, and we've got this clip. We've been playing for kids around, and you can see that it really touches them, and they can tell that this is the reality of what is happening on the ground. And every time we go to these schools and towns, one of the highlights that we experienced this week was going to Pixlika Isakasem. Pixlika Isakasem was a founding member of the African National Congress. He was the first Treasurer General of the African National Congress. He called for the unity of people. And through that, we have realized that in almost every town that we go to, people are putting behind their political differences. We've got DA members that are in the forefront of organizing these programs, defying their leadership positions. We've got different organizations that just forget their different ideological position. But on this one, we are solid because this is a call from the nation. I believe that the court case to the ICJ has played a massive role in changing or shifting people's perspective about this issue, and maybe looking back at how we can unite. And in this, I'm young, but I have read about the United Democratic Front, and I feel that with this unity, we sense that kind of a thing where people are saying, yes, we've got differences, let's pause them, focus on this until we see the liberation. So that is the type of reception that we've been receiving.
Well, it's actually very, very encouraging. In fact, it's heartening to note that you are getting the type of reception that you speak of, Itani. But also at the same time, I know increasing the number of towns. That's another positive. That's another encouraging thing to note that you are in demand and people want you to come to the towns. People want you to come and speak about Palestine and also at the same time just looking at when you're reaching out to these people, what are they saying? You mentioned Obviously, the ICJ case has created awareness. But personally, when you are talking to them, when you are talking to these young children, what are they telling you?
Most of them have, especially with the school kids, you would want to interact with them, ask them questions. It is surprising how much information they have. They've got clear understanding and knowledge of what it is that is happening. And they've got views. And their views are amazing because their views are that we have become, they are scared. They themselves are scared. Some of them would say that, yeah, we see that there's war and we get scared because we are worried if it will come to us. You see, so there is that they are not saying it the way directly this way, but their message is: can you elders do better? Can you leaders do better? Because we are expecting more from you. If more than 10,000, 12,000 kids can be killed in such a short period, if 1,000 people can be killed between the judgment of the ICJ and yesterday, that is disturbing on its own, of which more than 200 are kids. It is disturbing. So these kids are saying that they are scared. In most instances, they are scared. They feel for the Palestinian kids and wish they can do more. You know, that's the message we are getting from these children.
Yes, and just in terms of people, and I know this is linked to the fundraising for medical care for the children of Gaza. How is that going?
Going well. It's going very well. The fundraising is going well. For myself, I can openly speak about the fund, the assistance that we are getting directly in these programs and events that we are going to. We would go to an event, share leaflets for people to do an if EFTs, of which this is happening, is something that we'll look at once we get to Durban. But what I am seeing on a daily basis is that we're fundraising, we're doing very well. There's a place, maybe not to mention a place, but we counted money, like cash, in 3 different towns. In each and every one of them, one we got about more than 5,000 rand, one about 6, and I can safely say Newcastle we had more than 10,000 rand, just collections at a masjid, just in one masjid. You understand? So we've been doing well. Because if in one town we're making so much, then there's the online as well as the just giving account. Then we're probably reaching the target to an extent that we have started looking at, okay, it may not be enough to get prosthetic limbs for all these kids, but can we broaden the fund, the distribution of these funds to those prosthetic limbs? There are kids whom, all of these kids, most of them those that are 10 were born in Palestine that was being bombarded because 2014 there were bombs. So these are kids who have always experiencing massive explosions. Their ears are affected. The healthcare system, the healthcare infrastructure as a whole, it has collapsed. It needs assistance. As such, there's a need to look also into how we can do this. This is an advice from Dr. Gilbert to say, look into how you can assist beyond just the prosthetic limbs because they are affected in different ways. So we are looking at if we can assist even more and lend more and contribute more to this, we can get as many prosthetic limbs, get as much hearing assistance for these kids, and who knows, we can get 1 or 2 mobile clinics.
Yes, Itani, I know you're a young man, you're a strong man. From what I'm just looking at the pictures that are flashing by on the screen, proudly holding the South African flag, the Palestinian flag as well. Physically, how are you holding up?
Hey, I'm realizing something, my brother. Come I gossip with you. I'm running with a athlete. I've never been a runner. But through these runs, I'm kind of encouraged to participate in the Comrades Marathon. I'm realizing that even some of the if I can see ardent runners, those that have been doing this thing for some time, I'm catching up with them. I'm running faster than them. Maybe it's because I've been doing this for days now, and my body has adjusted. I'm managing to run a bit faster than them to an extent that maybe I hope I'm not overblowing my horn, but I think I'm ready to do even more. I'm physically ready. This was not my thing. I was not a person to be running. I'm a chess player, but this is my thing now. This is me.
Yes, Alhamdulillah. In fact, you see, obviously, something good has actually come out of it as well. Now, just obviously, Ladysmith today, where to from here? And I'm sure we're going to follow you throughout this journey. But just the next day or two, what are the plans, immediate plans?
Ladysmith have promised us that this is going to be the biggest day, and it started very well. Ladysmith have organized a fundraising dinner, of which they sold 300 tickets. I tell you what, 3 days back, the tickets were sold out. There's Now, as I'm speaking to you, there are people who are saying that we are coming with money for 50 tickets. You are going to create space for 50 extra. They don't care. They want space. So there'll be 350 people at the gala dinner at the dinner tonight, fundraising dinner tonight. They've organized a breakfast tomorrow morning with athletes. So it's going very well. We're going to a school soon, just after this. Then tomorrow we're off to Escort. After Escort, we go to the center, Rauf Center. So now I'm doing the works. We have adjusted like this. We went to Harry Smith, had to come back to Standard 10 by car. So we'll do the same thing. We'll be in Escort. From Escort, we'll go to Durban for the Rauf program. Come back this side and do our run into Pietermaritzburg. From Pietermaritzburg, that's when we will go to Colenso. Colenso, yes. We'll go to Colenso and then Durban. We're almost at the end. This is the home stretch.
Yes, you got a few days before you obviously end off, and obviously looking forward to you reaching Durban ultimately, inshallah. And I'm sure there's going to be a warm welcome, and also, more importantly, the awareness that you are creating, the information that you are providing to people through this, and also at the same time allowing people to do what we do best here in South Africa. We care for humanity. We dig deep into our pockets, and we contribute towards the medical care that you are speaking of as well. So we wish you well, my brother. Inshallah, Allah keep you strong as well, and may you continue, inshallah, and Allah accept, Allah reward your efforts. It's a huge sacrifice that you are making on a personal level as well, but equally it is very, very rewarding, and it's heartwarming for us to be able to follow you throughout this journey, to talk to you throughout this journey right here on Salam Media.
Thank you very much. And just to say, final word is: a sea is full of droplets of rain. Let us do the little that we can for ourselves, for those close to us, and for those that are in dire situations outside of our circles.
Very, very profound indeed, Itani. But once again, Jazakallah for your time this morning. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Allah. Thank you.
Itani Rasalanavho with us out of Ladysmith, and really very, very inspiring, very, very encouraging in terms of what we have been listening to in the last 12 to 13 minutes or so. We're going to go for a break, and when we come back, we will wrap up the show.